Good morning and welcome to Mornings on Main Street for this Christmas morning, the 25th of December. I'm your host, Stefanie Miller. Thanks for joining us this morning. Coming up, we are sharing with you once again a segment that we did recently about walking with grief. I sat down with a chaplain to talk about ways to maybe make the holiday season and these days just a little easier. She has some wonderful information for us this morning, so I hope you stick around for that. Afterwards, our food columnist and food reporter Catherine Mayhew shares with us a Middle Tennessee restaurant that is sure to tickle your taste buds. And lastly, we share with you once again a segment that we did with the second place finisher of the USA Mullet Championship and where you can catch him in person. Stick with us. We'll be right back.
Beginning January 1, Delta Dental of Tennessee is introducing enhanced benefits for persons with intellectual and developmental disabilities.
It'll include extra cleaning times for people with special needs, extra time for exams. More importantly, we will create a training program that any dentist office in the state can go online and pick that up.
At Delta Dental, we believe that the quality of oral health care should be accessible and inclusive for all.
He shoots, and he scores!
This holiday season, the largest lantern festival in the country returns to Nashville Zoo. Witness more than 1,000 handcrafted Chinese lanterns featuring brand new designs, including towering mythical beasts, a life-sized Santa's workshop, and a 100-foot-long dragon. Welcome back to Zoolumination at Nashville Zoo. Bigger, brighter, and better than ever.
Welcome to the Omni Nashville Hotel. Urban elegance with a vintage touch. Our 800-room hotel opened up in the fall of 2013 with 746 guest rooms and 54 suites.
Welcome back to Mornings on Main Street. We are talking about grief this morning. This time of year can be incredibly hard for so many out there. To talk to us about grief and maybe ways to get through this season, we have chaplain with Claris Healthcare, Diane Housam. Thank you so much for your time, Diane.
Thank you so much. It's a pleasure to be here.
You know,
look forward to it.
Oh, and it's a pleasure having you and talking with you because, again, this is a hard time. But this is something that you are interacting with families on a regular basis. You yourself have experienced it.
Yeah, every single day. Every single day. I don't think grief is something that we just put off. Mm-hmm. We have to deal with it and learn to deal with it every single day. And it sometimes starts before you even get out of bed, mm-hmm. and you know you're still facing it, and it's the last thing sometimes on your mind before you go to sleep. So.
And someone could have lost someone, years ago. And this time of year, it kind of brings back the feelings, the emotions, you have the memories. What are steps that we can take to make this time, I don't want to say easier, but more bearable?
I lost my brother 3 days before Thanksgiving. And, every Thanksgiving, it brings it right back up. Even though it's been years ago, it brings it right back up. And I think there's things that we can creatively do mm-hmm. to make it different. Maybe if, say for him, he always liked to, cut the turkey. So we let the funniest person in the family now cut the turkey just because he was funny. And it's kind of brought the tradition that the funniest person in the family cuts the turkey, which makes sense. Mm-hmm. But I think being sensitive, being mindful of those that are facing grief again, whether it's happened this year or 5 years ago, or just for the fact that their loved one's not there anymore. I need to be sensitive to it as I watch those. And it's just something we work with on a daily basis. But try to be creative. Try to think of some ways. I just lost my husband this year, 6 months ago, and we set up a little table and put a lot of the things that he loves on that table. So for right now, that's something we can go by. We keep a candle lit, oftentimes when we're at home, and it's just a reminder every day, that we're facing life without him, but yet we still remember him. And talk. The biggest thing we can do is talk. Talk about your loved one. Our society sometimes doesn't want to talk about the loved one, but in talking about the loved one, you're still making them alive, and still making their memories alive, and that really helps.
How can someone, and you mentioned that you did just lose your husband 6 months ago, you've lost your daughter 5 years ago. How can we, as a friend or a coworker or a colleague, what are the best ways for us to help someone who may still be grieving?
Don't run away. Even though you may not know what to say, call them. If you know they haven't gone somewhere for a while, go grab them and say, hey, let's go out for lunch today. I think anything that you do to show kindness and to have a listening ear, it's not what you say, it's not how you say it, it's just being there and offering to be there. And if they want to talk for 30 minutes about their loved one, you sit there and you listen for 30 minutes. But I think that's the greatest thing that we can do, be there. Don't run away, even if you don't know what to say, call them and just listen.
For someone going through that grief, and again, thank you for sharing with us, because there's so many out there who are dealing with this right now. When nobody's looking, what do you do to help continue to get you through?
That's a great question. When you're by yourself, you're able to let down, you're able to cry, you're able to breathe. I think the biggest thing I do is breathe. Deep breathing is something we don't do. Even if it means laying down on your stomach in the floor, it's your body's natural way to deep breathe if you don't know how to do it. And you're able to cleanse your breath. You're able to take in the world, and you cannot change death. You cannot control death. I don't know when it's going to come. I don't know when it's going to come for me. I don't know when it's going to come for you. But it's something that's going to happen. And taking a slower approach and saying, I'm going to make the most of today. I'm going to do today what I have to do. And then tomorrow we'll do this all again. But I think feeling free just to cry if you need to cry. I like to laugh. Laughter is a huge part, I think, of dealing with grieving. Just because it is funny. There are funny stories about your loved one. There are things you like to do with that person, and being able to laugh, but also, like I said, deep breathing. It helps tremendously.
Kind of backtracking a little bit. Your daughter, when she was first born, you were sharing before we got started that you were told that she wouldn't live long. Yes. And you had 28 beautiful years.
Yes, 28 years.
For those who may not have that long with their child, what can help them? Because the loss of a child, from what I've learned and what I've heard, is it's unimaginable.
I don't think you ever get over the death of a child. The death of a spouse is a little different, but the death of a child is just always devastating. I still talk to Angel, and I think that's a huge part of my life that helped me. Don't be afraid to talk to your loved one. We laugh about it at our house and say, we're not losing our minds. But we talk to her sometimes. We feel her presence. And, we'll just outright say, Angel, how you doing today? Or I'm thinking about you today. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that. We believe you have to keep that person memory alive. How do you do that? Oh my goodness. Do something for somebody else. Go to your local soup kitchen and help with, pour up soup. Christmas Eve, go to the hospital and offer, if you can, sing Christmas hymns. In other words, there's plenty of things out there that you can do for other people that are experiencing grief. We're all experiencing grief. You know, grieving is like your first Christmas story. In other words, you remember a favorite Christmas. We all remember a death that impacted our life. And so if we can think about that person and try to keep their memory of what they did, maybe they walked in a walk for breast cancer, then walk and remember that person and print up a shirt and have that person's picture and walk in that. If that person made the neighborhood cookies, make cookies, go deliver them to the neighborhood. Anything to honor your loved one. That's part of grieving, and there's nothing wrong with that. That's a creative way of approaching grief.
So getting creative, those honoring moments,
Yeah.
crying, darn it, if you need to cry, just freaking cry and laugh, and that's okay too.
Absolutely.
Diane Housam, chaplain here with Claris Healthcare. I appreciate your time and thank you for the, you reach out to people, because this is what Claris is about. They work with those who have lost someone. Just thank you for your words and thank you for sharing. Very much appreciate it. And I know this is going to be helpful.
All right. Thank you so much.
All right, Diane.
God bless.
Oh, thank you. Stick with us here on Mornings on Main Street. We have more coming up after this.
This Christmas, score big and give her what she truly wants. A diamond bracelet, earrings, or new diamond ring. And now, with Earthmind and lab-grown diamonds, we can match any budget. All offered with interest-free financing. Or trade in your old jewelry for a new, sparkly look. Score big points with diamonds from Hancock Diamonds. Hancock Diamonds, Goodlettsville.
Hey, what did I tell you about throwing football indoors?
At Implant and General Dentistry, we're proud to offer dental care you can trust. Our team, led by Dr. Andrew Flips, is dedicated to serving our community with the highest quality of care. We offer comprehensive dental exams, cleanings, whitening, and more. With our compassionate and experienced team, you'll be able to smile with confidence. Come experience the difference for yourself. Call us today to schedule an appointment or visit our website to learn more.
Sherry's Hope is dedicated to sharing the hope of Christ, protecting the health of our community, and supporting those who are fighting cancer. You can be a champion of hope this season. When you give monthly to Sherry's Hope, you help meet the needs of families in our community as they are battling cancer. Your monthly gift of $10 or more gives hope all year. Together, we can make a difference.
At Chapels, we pride ourselves on offering a wide variety of the freshest fruits and vegetables, handpicked just for you. We have a wide selection of the freshest, highest quality meats that will leave your taste buds craving more. Our friendly staff is always ready to lend a helping hand. We believe in treating every customer like family because at Chapels, your family is our family. We've been locally owned and operated for over 60 years. You can visit any of our Chapels locations in Dixon, White Bluff, McEwen, and Centerville.
Welcome back to Mornings on Main Street. So, charcuterie boards are huge. You see them at almost every party or gathering, but what is a true charcuterie board? Well, you know who's going to share what it is with us? That is our food columnist and reporter, Catherine Mayhew. She recently went to Chrysalis Modern Italian, and you had what looks to me like the best thing I could eat. Good morning to you.
Good morning. How are you?
I am wonderful. How are you today?
I'm great.
Oh, so tell me about this, like what a true charcuterie board is and what is so special about Chrysalis Modern Italian.
Okay, well, to get this beef off my chest, a true charcuterie means literally cured meat. So charcuterie boards started off with just different kinds of cured meat, hams, salamis, all that. Somehow in America, we have, as we usually do, convoluted the entire concept. And all of a sudden, we started seeing charcuterie boards with cheese and with pickles and with almonds. And then you saw a charcuterie board that was nothing but desserts, a charcuterie board. So that has been driving me nuts for years. I realize that I'm not going to solve this problem that only I perceive. However, what Chrysalis has done is basically, first of all, not call it a charcuterie board. They call it a piatta or a platter. And the second thing that Chrysalis has done is, instead of where most restaurants will say, here are the meats you're going to have, here are the cheeses you're going to have, and here you go. Chrysalis lets you choose your own adventure. And that is a lot of fun because there's a ton of options, and it lets you pick the things that either you like or that you're curious about trying, and puts them together on a beautiful platter that makes eating just an adventure.
Oh, I love it. So now in my head, when I introduce or bring people over to the house, charcuterie will just be meats. And what is it? Did you say, what is the other?
A board, a platter, call it the charcuterie if you want to be absolutely correct.
I do, now that we've had this conversation. What is the atmosphere like at this place?
It's in a strip shopping center, as so many places are. And inside, it's very sort of chic, modern. Chrysalis, of course, as butterflies emerge. So there's all kinds of butterfly art all over the walls. And it's a good sit down. You can hear each other speak, relaxed vibe, and perfect for just, the noshing that you're going to do when you get your platter. And what you put on it, they charge you by the item. So it can be inexpensive or it can be outrageously expensive, depending on how many things you pick and how much they cost. We went with prosciutto, which is one of my favorite things to eat. We went with a couple of different kinds of styles of salami, one that had an orange and fennel taste to it that was just out of this world.
Oh,
a couple of cheeses. One we went with a fresh mozzarella because it's my favorite cheese in the world. And the other a fontina, which is very creamy, very mild. And then a lot of accoutrements, like pepperdew peppers. If you've never had them, they're kind of sweet and spicy at the same time.
Yes.
Balsamic vinegar, a really good aged, thick balsamic. We went with some nuts. We went with a little bit of fruit, some olives. And everything eaten together was just terrific.
Oh, that sounds great. The piatto plate. I like how they put that. Do they have like the jams as well?
You can get a fig jam, which goes amazingly well with cheese. And then you can order crostini, which are just sort of thin pieces of grilled bread. Or you can get their two bread combination, which is separate from what you would order on the piazza, on the plate, on the platter. But it's worth it. It comes with handmade Italian bread, a fresh, individual, hot loaf. And it comes with a homemade focaccia, again, fresh, hot out of the oven. And it comes with a seasoned butter. And it comes with a dipping bowl of olive oil.
And this picture, as we're seeing this, looks, this is my Achilles heel. This is like, just put it in front of me and let me go to town.
If you even just went in there and ordered the bread and nothing else, you'd be happy because it's so good. It's so good. And that way, I find that the bread to platter ratio is a little off for me. Like you get a lot of meats and cheeses and maybe 2 or 3 crostini, and it wouldn't be quite enough crostini to sort of make the complete experience. But if you get this 2 kinds of bread thing, I think it's only like $5 or $6. It's worth the extra. And then, if you don't eat it all, you take it home.
Ah, that sounds great. And from looking at their menu, so they also have like a soup du jour. They have sandwiches and other items.
Oh, yeah. They have beautiful pastas. They have a lot of flatbreads. They have some very inventive salads. It's the difference to me between new Italian, quote, new Italian, and old school is everything's very light. There's no heavy sauces. There's no, giant meatballs. It's all sort of light and fresh. And what a lot of people just want to eat now.
Sounds delicious. One more thing before I let you go, I want to share with you pepperdew peppers. If you like those, have you ever stuffed them with goat cheese with the balsamic glaze and like a little basil leaf? Delicious.
Oh, no, but I will. They're delicious.
That's what I do for parties and for Christmas.
They are delicious. And I don't know about you, but I think they're hard to find in grocery stores.
Publix always seems to have the Publix with the olive bar. You'll find it there usually 9 times out of 10.
Ah, well, they're worth getting. To me, it's a great gateway pepper.
Yes.
To, if you're not sure about spicy, because it's such an interesting taste when you have that sweet and spicy together. And if you put goat cheese in it, which is mild and creamy, that would kind of be a perfect complement.
Oh, it truly is. So try that and let me know what you think.
I will do it.
All right, Catherine, see you next week. And until then, just have a wonderful, wonderful day.
Okay, you as well.
Yes, ma'am. All right, stick with us here on Mornings on Main Street. We have a lot more coming up right after this.
At Fred's Flooring, we're your source for quality flooring options. Our extensive experience and knowledge in the industry means we have the expertise to get the job done right. From carpet to tile, hardwood to laminate, and luxury vinyl, we have everything you need to find the perfect floor for your home. As the Main Street Award Favorite Floor Store winner for 2023, we know what it takes to satisfy our customers. And with our convenient financing options, you can get your dream floors now and pay over time. Visit fredsfloors.com or call us today.
Welcome to Grin Doctors, your trusted pediatric dentistry and orthodontics practice. Achieve healthy, beautiful smiles with our expert care. At Grin Doctors, we are committed to your child's oral health and well-being. Trust Grin Doctors, your pediatric dental home for exceptional care. We go above and beyond to ensure the comfort and satisfaction of our young patients. Grin Doctors Kids Dental and Orthodontics is right down the street in Old Hickory, TN. Easy to get to and in your neighborhood.
You know that feeling you get when your team goes big? You can get that same feeling on Zen Sports. When you sign up for a Zen Sports account, you will receive up to a $1,000 no-danger first wager. That's right. When you place your first bet in Zen Sports, you can be reimbursed for the amount of your first bet up to a $1,000 maximum if the bet loses. No other sportsbook will offer you a premier sports betting experience with 24/7 customer support and faster withdrawals like Zen Sports. Zen Sports. Betting just got better. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-889-9789. Terms and conditions apply. Must be 21 and up and in Tennessee to bet.
You just never know who you're going to meet when you're out and about and you just strike up a conversation with someone. And if you've come into a pizza joint, Prince Street Pizza and Pub, here in Gallatin, you may have noticed this, the hair. Take a look. It's really hard to not miss it. Like, it just grabs your attention. Well, let me tell you the person behind the hair. It is David Houts, and it's Terry, the Walmart Wolverine.
That's right.
David, first off, thanks for your time.
Of course.
It is so cool. It was so cool to chat with you. And guys, this is the second runner-up for the USA Mullet Championship 2023. I feel like I had heard about this at one point because of it was a kid. I think I saw a picture of a kid who was a part of the championship. And you're going to see here in a minute, kind of, you had a women's division, kids division, 2 different age groups, and then the male division.
Yep.
What does it take to get into this competition?
So I had the mullet for like not even a full summer, and I had several people send me a link to this competition. And I was like, well, I guess I got to keep it for the next year. I entered last year into the male open division, and I finished out 66th, being the only guy in Tennessee to hit the top 100. So I've kind of like claimed the Tennessee title, it's unofficial title.
When did you start growing the hair? So you took part in this competition in 2022. When did you start growing out Terry?
So it was early 2022. I had long hair. For a little while I was down here, a lot of my friends have long hair. I decided to shave my head completely off, and then I just kept growing it, never got it cut, and I just had long, just a lion's mane. And I finally got it cut in, official cut in mullet, fall of 22, and I've had that ever since. I've always had long hair, but my friend Eddie, who I worked with at a brewery, he had a mullet who's so much better than mine, and he convinced me to get a mullet.
Well, it looks good and you wear it well.
Appreciate it.
Looking at the top three, there's someone that did beat you out for the champion of this. I think I like yours better.
Scott's had this one. He won last year too. Undisputed champ right now. He has a little bit more of a legacy that has it. So that's probably why. But we're good friends now on Facebook, so that makes the competition a little more fun.
That's really cool. So I have to say the USA Mullet Championship is a lot more than just growing out the hair. They actually raise money for the Jared Allen's Homes for Wounded Warriors, helping veterans out there. So you have to raise money too, not just grow out the hair.
That's right. It's the donation aspect was a big part. Votes did count a little bit more, but in total, the competition raised over $220,000 this year, and it all goes to veterans and to help build a home for mortgage-free and injury-specific for veterans, and that's what really matters. I'm a huge backer of the veterans from when I was back in Jersey. I was always volunteering at the local VFW. And my mom run the Memorial Day Parade every year for the town, and I do it here. We have a big veteran group that comes in here to the pub, and they all know I love each and every one of them, and I'm do everything I can for them. So this competition meant a little bit more to do and trying to get more donations.
Will you try again in 2024?
Absolutely. I'm going for Scott. I mean, he can't three-peat. He can't three-peat. And now I have a bigger backing, and a lot more people understand that there's donations behind it. Because when you were voting, it was hard to see that there was a donation part of it. Now a lot of people know it's going to happen. So I think I can seal the deal next year.
I hope that you can. And again, you can catch David here at Princess Pizza here in Gallatin. They serve up a really good slice of pizza and have a nice selection of brews on tap. Of course, you have your non-alcoholic beverages too. So if you'd like to come out, get to know David and listen to his story and back him next year for 2024. Help him raise money for the Jared Allen's Homes for Wounded Warriors, $220,251.60. That's what was raised in 2023. Last question for you. What did your friends say, your family say? And I want to add a little tidbit. Your dad is a police officer, so very kind of clean cut.
He was an officer for 32 years in New Jersey. Very clean cut, didn't like long hair. I couldn't even wear my hat backwards. He's not a fan of it, but my mom's a huge fan of Alan Jackson. So she, of course, loves the mullet.
Gotcha. David, thank you so much for your time. Again, get out to Princess Pizza here in Gallatin, visit with David and everyone else here in the building. Stick with us on Mornings on Main Street. We have more coming up right after this.
Smiles. These are the healthy smiles of real Delta Dental members. Folks with access to the nation's largest network of dentists and low-deductible plans with 100% preventive care coverage, all backed by over 65 years of expertise. Go online or give us a call to learn about affordable individual plans that meet your needs. 1-855-844-0445.
Main Street Sports Today strives to bring you the most timely and comprehensive coverage of sports news and more from Middle Tennessee and beyond.
We cover the teams you care about from preps to pros and bring some of the most influential voices in sports to keep you in the know.
Tune into Main Street Sports Today each Monday through Friday at 2 p.m. Download the Main Street Media TV app.
Thanks so much for stopping by here this morning at Mornings on Main Street. Have a wonderful rest of your day. We'll see you back here tomorrow morning.